feels fine. Crack up the bed and you're stealing my mind. Oh, we're walking on sunshine, baseball time. Round and around till the bases shine. This little diamond is a daylight shrine.
What's going on, guys? We're back here with the MLB Hotshot Takes Season 2 premiere. We're back. Baseball is officially back. Spring training is going on. In a couple weeks, we will have the World Baseball Classic. So let's go ahead and do a little predictions today for Episode 1. Next week, we'll do the predictions for the playoffs. This will be the regular season prediction, then we'll do the playoffs next week. And then the following week, we'll finally be into baseball with the World Baseball Classic. So go ahead. Let's hit that fucking intro, shall we?
Well, the two idiots think their opinions are still the fucking bomb. We got a Phillies Karen and Yankees ran to after the show. Oh yeah, we are here to still make your day. But seriously, fuck these guys and all that takes. Hotshot, take it away. Season 2 is underway. Fuck Brian Cashman. Fuck Aaron Bowden. And fuck Halston Brennan. Season 2 is going to take this show to another level. Yeah, we are here to still make your day. But sinlessly fuck these guys and all that fakes. Hotshot, take it away. Hotshot, take it away. Hotshot, take it away. Hotshot, take it away. Take it away. We are here to still make your day. But still, if we fuck these guys and all that Hotshot, take it away. Take it away. Hotshot, take it away.
Woo! That just gets you pumped up, now doesn't it? Alright, so let's do this, starting with the defending champions division, NL West. Last year, we didn't have any 100-win clubs. This year, I think we're going to have multiple. So let's kick it off here. Obviously, in 5th place, probably going to be the worst team in the league, is the Colorado Rockies. I mean, I'll be shocked if they win at least 25 to 30 games this year. They're just not a very good ball club. So let's move on to the next one, Arizona. I think the Diamondbacks aren't going to be as good as they were. I mean, coming 3 years ago, they were in the World Series, losing to the Texas Rangers, and now they're here, taking a huge step back. They lost a lot of players in the offseason. They also regained 2 players that they lost. I believe Merrill and Allen are back, but I still think the Diamondbacks are just not a good baseball team. They'll get there. It'll also depend on Corbin Carroll's health, which he's been battling injury the last 2 years. So I'm going Arizona in 4th. San Francisco, who's had a really good offseason, getting guys. Cheryl, no. Cheese, blue cheese.
Oh, sorry. Go Yankees.
Giants had a really good offseason getting. Who did they grab? They grabbed some good players. I know they got. They grabbed. Let me see what they grabbed. They grabbed. The Giants grabbed. They got some good players. Let me look into it. They had in my opinion, they had a really good off season. So they signed. Let me see. Here we go, getting the off season. They grabbed. So they got Harrison Bader, good pickup. Luis Arias, good pickup. They got. I think they got a pitcher too, if I'm correct. Yeah, Andrew and Hauser. Hi, Kitty. Some good pickups for them. Obviously, they got Devers. They're going to be a good team this year. I could see them making the playoffs. I could definitely see the Giants squeaking into the playoffs this year. So that's why I have them at third. Obviously, at 2, I'm going San Diego. San Diego is still one of the juggernauts in that division. They still have, even though they lost, they did lose one of their starters to free agency, as he is now a starter for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's a damn good starter too, and Dylan Cease. So I still think San Diego is going to give the Dodgers the best opportunity to steal the first place, but I ultimately don't think that's going to happen. I think the LA Dodgers will remain in first place. They will be, and arguably still, the defending champions. They got even better off this offseason. They grabbed Diaz to add to that bullpen. They grabbed freaking Kyle Tucker for cheap. So, like, the Dodgers are going to be even better than they were the last 2 years. I think they're going to be even better than the year they won the World Series against the Yankees. Because even though they took a step, even though they won last year, they did take a step back in the standings. I mean, looking it up here, 2025, they won 93 games. They won 5 more games in 24 than they did in 25. I think they're going to win over 100 games this year. So I have the Dodgers obviously winning the NL West. So let's go ahead and move into our next division, the NL Central, which they just made a trade with the Brewers. Speaking of the Brewers, they just made a trade with the Red Sox a couple weeks ago, as they're getting one of the Red Sox's pitchers who is probably going to turn into a stud. That's how the Brewers work. They find these pitchers. They also traded Freddie Peralta to the Mets. So let's start with this. I think arguably another team that's going to be really bad this year is the Cardinals. Cardinals just got rid of Arenado. And last year they weren't the worst team in the league. It was the worst team in the division. It was the Pirates. But arguably I think the Pirates are going to be better this year because the Pirates made some moves in the offseason that puts them a little bit over the Cardinals. The Cardinals traded Arenado. That's a bat that's going to... I know he hasn't been the Arenado of the past, but he has still been hitting... I think... Let me see. How many home runs did Arenado hit last season? He hit... The Diamondbacks did get him, so I got to give the Diamondbacks credit for that. So that might be a good acquisition. Last year he hit 12 home runs. So he took a step back. He's been taking a step back. From 2023 or 2021, he's been slowly going down the home runs, but still. He's still a productive bat, and I think it's going to be a loss for the Cardinals. At 4, I got the Pirates. I still think the Pirates they're not there yet. Their rotations is fantastic. All these kids coming out. I forgot who came up last year. He looked really good too. But Paul Skeens is leading the way. Now you got Connor Griffin, who looks really good for them too. But I think the Pirates are still not there yet. Cincinnati had a good offseason as well. They brought back Suarez. They made another move. I do think the Reds will be fighting for a playoff spot again this year. We'll see if they can go further than what they did. I just think they ran into a juggernaut that is the Dodgers, but we'll see. In second place, I actually have the Brewers. I think the Brewers take a step back this year. Their offense doesn't scare me, and that's why they got embarrassed by the Dodgers in the NLCS. So I'm going to put the Brewers here because I think the Cubs made a really good move in the offseason getting Cabrera, making moves that they need to make. They lost Kyle Tucker, but I don't think that's going to affect them as much because now they have the pitching to back them up. I think the Cubs win the division here in 2026. So let's move on to the NL East, which is going to be a tricky one to predict because there's some good teams at the top. Let's start with, obviously, I think this team is going to be arguably the worst team in the league, the Nationals. Holy shit, from 2019 till now, the Nationals have been arguably one of the worst team ever. They have yet to make the playoffs since winning the World Series. And last year, they won 66 games. A lot of them because of Mackenzie Gore. Well, guess what? They don't have Gore anymore. He's gone. I think this team is heading towards another rebuild, and I wouldn't be shocked if they win more than 40 games this year. They're not good. They just won the first overall pick as well. So I don't think the Nationals are going to be good this year. Marlins. The Marlins made the playoffs 2 years ago. This year they're not. This year they don't make the playoffs. But you know what? Or last year they didn't make the playoffs. They made a trade for. Then they traded one of their starters. And Cabrera. I think the Marlins will take another step back. But I think they did right moving Cabrera. I think they got some good pieces back too. I also think that Sandy Alcantara is going to get traded as well sometime this season. Probably to the Yankees, maybe to the Dodgers, probably the Dodgers. So I do think the Marlins are also heading towards a rebuild, but I think they're better than the Nationals. All right, in third place, Atlanta. They move up a little bit. I don't think the Braves are heading towards the end of their little window. They won their World Series in 21, and they haven't done shit since. They've been embarrassed by the Phillies, and they got destroyed by the Padres because they had nothing left. And then last year they took a really bad step back. So I have the Braves here in third place. Shocker right here. I actually have the Phillies in second. I think losing out on Bo Bichette's going to really hurt the Phillies because I think that offense is going to take a step back. So will the pitching as well. Now, I have the Mets in first because the Mets have had a really good offseason. They went out and got they got some Yankees former players, but you know what? That's fine. But they went out and got Freddie Peralta. They went out and got Luis Robert. They went out and got Bo Bichette. So they got all these players that are going to make them better. And I do think the Mets are going to be the best challenge towards the Dodgers in the playoffs this year. So I have the Mets winning the NL East. Let's move out west again for the AL West. And obviously, sorry Jordan, but I got the Angels here in last place, especially after what their owner came out and said a couple weeks ago. This franchise is cursed. Yeah, right here. Moreno told the local reporters on Friday, 2 days ago, that the number one thing fans want is affordability, and that winning is not in their top 5. Well, that's why they're going in 5th place, because their owner doesn't even want to fucking win. I do think the A's take a step forward this year. Last year they were in last. No, they weren't in last place. The Angels were in last place. Last year the A's they're taking another step forward. I believe next season is either next season or the year after that. They will officially be in their new stadium. I don't know when that's being built. Looks like 2028. So yes, 2028. So after next season, they'll be in their new stadium. So they're going to be playing in Sacramento for two more years, at least one more year, because there's potential lockout next season. Yeah, I think the A's are perfect right here for now, but they are going to be a team to be reckoned with in a couple of years. They have a lot of good prospects coming up, especially making those moves that they need to make at the deadline the last 2 years. Texas Rangers, I got here in third. Rangers made some good moves in the offseason. They brought back, they made a trade, sending Garcia to the Phillies. They also went out and got Mackenzie Gore, who will be a good him and Jack Leader will be a good addition to that rotation that desperately needs it. But I think the Rangers they're not a good team. They're still riding high on that World Series win in 22 or 23, and I don't think they're going to go far. Astros. They're making the playoffs this year. 100%. They're not missing this year. And why? I'll tell you why. His name's Amai. And he's looked really good so far in spring training. I still think the Mariners are the best team in the division, but I think the Astros could go to the World Series. That roster is still good enough to win. And then finally, obviously, the defending AL West champs. We're one game away from going to the World Series. I think they're gonna make another run. So that is the AL West. Let's move on to the AL Central. Let's just get this out of the way. The two worst teams here, the Twins and the White Sox. The White Sox made some moves in the offseason. They were pretty good moves. They traded Luis Robert, got some prospects back, and they went out and got Murakami, which nobody saw coming. Then the Twins. The Twins are just trash. I would put the Twins here, but I can't. I just think Chicago's just they're a cursed franchise, just like the Angels. But the Twins are arguably one of the worst teams in the league, and I wouldn't be shocked if they finished in fifth. In third, I got the Royals. I think the Royals they're in a tough spot right now. Looking for a new stadium. I don't know if they got one or granted yet. Yeah, they're still planning. They're still trying to get one, but it hasn't gone through yet. So until then, I really don't see the Royals. I really do think when they get that new stadium, that's when they'll take a huge step forward. They still got some good players. I mean, Bobby Witt Jr. is still great. Cole Riggins is still great. They have another pitcher that just came up too, that almost won Rookie of the Year as well. He's really good. So the Royals will be good. I just don't think they're there yet. They'll be there. Obviously, Guardians here in second. They did win the division last year, but I just felt like it's a fluke. The Tigers choked that division away, and then proved that they were the better team by beating him in 5. So I think the Guardians potentially still make the playoffs. I just don't think they win the division here. I think the Tigers have made so many good moves here, adding to that rotation. And now that bringing in Framer Valdez to pair with arguably one of the best pitchers in baseball, Tarek Skubal. They also brought back Justin Verlander, which I saw happening eventually. I knew Verlander was going to retire a Tiger. I think the Tigers win the division here, and the Tigers make a serious run at the World Series, which we will get into next week on our predictions for episode 2. Finally, the AL East. Oh, he's probably going to pick the Yankees to win the division. Tampa Bay is trash. Just like their stadium is trash, they're trash. Tampa Bay will be the worst team in the division. You can bet on that shit. I don't think the Orioles will be as bad as they were last year. Last year went really wrong for the Orioles, and they went out and got some good players that could help them. The rotation's going to be a lot better this year. They actually emphasized on building the rotation. I think they'll be fine there in that aspect. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay made moves. They're just trash. Speaking of the Orioles will be in fourth place. I think they take a step forward this year. I just don't think they're going to be another growing pain until next year. I think next year is when they get back into contention. You're probably going to put the Red Sox here. Actually, no. I got the Yankees. Yankees did not have a very good offseason. I mean, they went out and got Ryan Weathers, who's looked really good today. 99.8 miles per hour thrown on one of his pitches in February, which is crazy. Imagine now when the weather starts to warm up. I do think the Yankees will make the playoffs. I do think the Yankees are a threat down the stretch with their rotation and the fact that they're building up that bullpen. They still need to fix the center. They still need to fix short. They still need to fix catcher. They have to find someone else. They got to find contact hitters. They just don't have those guys. Bringing back Bellinger was great, but this team's just the same team from last year. I mean, they're getting Garrett Cole back, which is great. Cam Schlittler should take another step next year. This season, Rodriguez looks great. Lestrange looks great. Ben Heath looks great. The prospects look great. Lombard looks great. Spencer Jones looks great. But this team's not. Again, as long as Boone, Cashman, and Steinbrenner are still in power, the Yankees aren't winning shit. I have the Boston Red Sox finishing second place. The Red Sox have had a really good offseason this year. They went out and got Durbin, who former Yankee. I'm still pissed about that. I still think the Yankees never should have traded for him or traded him. I know it was Devin Williams, but Devin Williams never really panned out. Now he's a Met. But Boston has him. They got Ranger Suarez from the Phillies. They went out and got Sonny Gray to build. They're building their rotation to help Garrett Crochet. I do think the Red Sox will be in second place. And finally, it pains me to say this, but I do think the Blue Jays will repeat as division champs. The Blue Jays are still arguably the best team in the American League. Even losing Bo Bichette, they still went out and got that. What's his face? Anaka, whatever his name is. That Japanese third baseman. Not Murakami, but the other guy. Akamoto. There we go. Akamoto. They got him. They also got, like I said, they got Dylan Cease. So I think they're dealing with injuries right now, but I think they'll be fine. They're ultimately going to probably win the division and go back to the World Series. The question is, can they beat the Dodgers? I don't think anyone can beat the Dodgers. So anyways, that is my predictions for the 2026 MLB season. We will see you guys next week for episode 2, where I predict the playoffs. Peace!